Hey, how is everyone tonight? It's Dawn. I got a little different background here. I am here in California. So hello to all my West Coasters that are probably still awake. My East Coasters and Midwesterners are probably sound asleep at this point. So who's on there with me tonight? How are you? All right, let's talk. I'm just going to make sure we're getting a good feed here. Hey, Chris. All right, girl. Tomorrow night, We're going to be in Willows, California. I am so looking forward to seeing you. I got all my goodies behind me ready to come, chocolates and all the like. Hey, Richard. How are you, my friend? I hear you chirping away over here. All right, I got to keep from rocking. We have these fabulous rocking chairs here in California and the fifth wheel. So I just wanted to hop on here tonight and talk to you for a couple moments about explosive growth. And if I'm rocking, I promise I will stop. I love rocking chairs, especially these reclining ones. So explosive growth is just an incredible concept. And when I think of explosive growth and how to grow an organization or how to grow a team, there's a couple things that I want you to clearly understand here with regards to this concept, because anytime you step into a group, whether it's a charitable organization or a team environment or you're building your own business, as a leader, there's a natural tendency to understand and kind of assess and know where you want to be, right? The direction that the team needs to go, the things that need to be happen. But there's a gap. There's a gap between where the organization is and where you want to be. And a lot of times the leader is impatient. You're moving at a fast pace, you have clear direction, you have strategy in place, but there's a lag. There's a lag in the people that are following you. They're not necessarily on the same pace as you, and there's frustration that creeps in. There's tension that creeps in the environment. And so what you have to do is kind of take a step back, and you have to assess who the organization is comprised of. So you have different people in your organization, you have different people in your team, whether it's a volunteer army or if it's an organization of people that are working together in any type of environment. You're constantly going to run up against the variable that there's always going to be a difference of ideas or opinions or theory as to where you're going, right, as one particular unit, and what the roles are that those people fill in the team. So let me just give you an example. In the space that I'm in, or in any kind of volunteer organization, you have leaders and you have followers. And a lot of times your followers especially are behind where the leader is. So they're not running at the same speed. They're not running at the same pace as the leader. And so the leader gets frustrated because you want to move faster, you want to go faster, but basic concepts need to be learned. Basic skill sets need to be developed. And so a lot of times what a leader naturally will do is focus on personal self-growth. And I see this happen, and people get stuck here a lot of times, is they're so focused on themselves, on growing themselves, on personal self-development. They're going to seminars and they're going to workshops, and trust me, that is absolutely necessary, because you always want to be a student in this environment. You always want to be growing. You always want to be seeking and learning more. But the challenge comes in when it comes to success and how these success principles work. So if you're constantly focused on your own personal self-growth, of course you're going to see personal success. You're going to see your personal skill sets increase. You're going to see your personal productivity increase, because your activity will naturally increase because of the investment in yourself. When you're focused on building and growing followers, now there's a big difference between the people that you're attracting into your business, into your organization, into your team. If you're attracting followers and developing and investing and growing your followers, you will see growth in your organization. But here's where the difference lies. If you're investing and growing and developing leaders in your business, you'll see multiplication happen. This is that exponential growth variable. You will, more often than not, if you're in any kind of space where you're looking for exponential growth, if you are not outperforming your attrition, the likelihood is you're not growing enough leaders. And there's a very big difference between attracting followers into your business and attracting leaders into your business. I'm going to talk to you for a couple moments about this followers versus leaders concept, because most of the people that we attract into any environment are followers. They're very comfortable being, second in line. They're very comfortable not taking the lead. They're very comfortable not leading the charge, so to say. But where you spend your time is crucial, because it's going to be the determining factor as to whether your business just grows or whether your business multiplies. So what does that time spent look like? What are those areas of focus? Where do we differentiate these? So if you're attracting followers into your business, so let's just talk about you for a moment as a leader. If you're attracting followers into your business, a lot of times somebody who's attracting followers is somebody who needs to be needed. It's somebody who wants the recognition, the applause, and somebody who doesn't necessarily want that but wants to be succeeded. So a true leader is somebody who wants to watch their people walk the stage, is somebody who wants to be able to leave the business and leave a legacy behind, who has the ability to leave any environment and watch the team continue to grow and thrive in that environment. If you step out of your business and that team falls apart, then you haven't done a very good job of creating leadership in that organization. You'll never reach the exponential growth that you're looking to reach if you're not growing these leaders. Where is your time spent? This is important because you're working a lot of times with a volunteer army. More often than not, whether it's a volunteer organization, whether it's network marketing, direct selling, remember that Pareto principle I talked about a couple days ago? Your top 20% of your team is developing 80% of your business. If your time spent is developing the individuals that are quite content following, or are quite content not, consistently dedicating themselves to the business. I'm talking about if you're spending the majority of your time in the bottom 80% of your organization, you're never going to develop the leaders that you need to in order to increase to exponential growth. You'll see replacement growth is what you'll see. You'll see maybe an offset of your attrition. Your time spent needs to be in that top 20%, because that's where 80% of your business, 80% of your organizational volume, 80% of the activity in your business is going to come from. You also need to make sure that when you're working with your organization, a lot of times what we're trying to do is develop the weaknesses in our business. So if you're working I can think of the top 10 to 15 leaders that are in my business, and they may have weaknesses in some areas, but it's my role, it's my responsibility to make sure that we focus on their strengths, right? Yes, of course, we always want to grow personally. We always want to strive to be better. But if all I do is focus on their weaknesses, they're never going to be more than mediocre in their weaknesses. But if I focus on their strengths, they can soar, they can excel in their strengths. But a lot of times we talk ourselves out of things, or we talk ourselves right into complacency because we are so focused on our own personal weaknesses. So what you need to do as a leader is you need to focus on the strengths of the people that are in your organization. You need to hone in and identify those individuals that have the potential to be key leaders. Hone in on those people that have incredible influence and develop them in their areas of their strength. You also need to remember that not everybody has to be treated the same in your organization, and I think this is a grave misconception. You need to realize that you're working with people as unique individuals. Where your time spent and how your time is spent and who your time is spent with in your organization is going to determine whether it's growth or whether it's multiplication. So I want you to think carefully. Hey Vicki, hey Lisa, how are you guys tonight? So as I talk about this and wrap this up, hey sweet girl, I want you to think about leaders. So as you're out there, this is going to require a completely different mindset. This is going to require a little bit more intention. This is going to require you thinking about, I'm just not going to bring one person into my business to only grow that one person, but how can I help to influence them and all of the people around them, right? So when you look at people, you're going to be looking at them a little bit differently. I want you to think about this because leaders are very difficult to find, and they're not often found in the groups that you're already traveling in. You have to seek them out. You have to look for them because a lot of times leaders are like eagles. They are out there on their own, doing their own thing. They're not necessarily flocking with all of the same people that and the same groups that you're probably used to. So if you're frustrated, and I have this happen a lot of times, where people are like, I need to find new people, or I need to get out and meet new people because, you know, my friends aren't, you know, responding to me the way that I thought they would be. And so often we are so stuck in our own circle, right, of our own pocket of people, and we don't necessarily have influence over those people. And for a lot of different reasons, and that's a whole other topic for another night. But what we have to do is we have to be intentional about getting outside of that circle. So we have to be intentional about looking for the people that we want to attract. So I am so happy you guys are still up. So again, remember, leaders are hard to find because they don't flock together. They're also hard to gather, to keep in one spot because they are very autonomous thinkers. Leaders want flexibility. They don't want to conform to the norm. They don't, and in an organization, a lot of times we're striving for structure. We're striving for discipline. And leaders have different sense of energy about them. They really want to know where you're going. They want to know what your vision is. They want to know what the direction of the organization is. They are truly very independent individuals in the professional space. So you're looking for most likely very different people than the ones that you've been typically surrounded by. And always remember that leaders are very hard to keep. So what you want to do is create a culture, create an environment where they can thrive and grow. A leader doesn't want to be stuck in an environment where they feel that there is no growth or no opportunity or no exploration. One of the most important things as you are thinking about explosive growth is you want to create an environment where you're not trying to keep another leader under your thumb. You want to create an environment where somebody feels like they have the ability to soar. You want to create an environment where somebody has a relationship with you and they know that you want to see them supersede anything that you're capable of doing. So the environment that you're creating is very conducive to attracting the people that you want in that space, and it's somebody who's even more creative than you, somebody that has even greater influence than you. It's somebody that you are thrilled to push them out and push them forward and let them supersede anything that you thought was possible. I think about people that are in my business, and I can honestly tell you there's several of them that I can't wait for the day to watch them walk stage, because in this lifetime they have the ability to do more and accomplish more than I could ever even think possible. And I want you guys to be those leaders. Be those leaders that push your people beyond the scope of what they even believe that they can do. I hope you're having a great night. Thank you for joining me. I'm looking forward to staying in touch with you here from California this week, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone.